Okay, we're going to start on chapter 4 now, and a few things I want to point out. First, conjugating verbs. Conjugating a verb means changing its form to reflect more information, such as its subject, its tense, and its mood. We'll talk about mood later on. The unconjugated form of a verb is called the infinitive. It's the form you're going to find as a dictionary entry. In English, that would be, for example, to eat, to sing, to rejoice. In French, on the other hand, present infinitives are single words such as être and avoir, which mean to be and to have, and which you learned in the last chapter. Now, the French language divides its verbal system in three parts. The verbs that end in er, that end in ir, and that end in re. There are also a lot of irregular verbs that we're going to be learning sort of as we go along. And so far, you've learned how to conjugate regular er verbs in the present. You've also learned how to conjugate two irregular verbs, être and avoir, in the present. In this chapter, we're going to learn how to conjugate regular ir and re verbs in the present, and that way you will know the present tense of all the main regular verbs in French. We're also going to learn our first past tense in this chapter. It's called the past indefinite. The French call it the passé composé, which means the compound past, and they call it that because it has two parts. It has an auxiliary verb and a past participle. The auxiliary verb, or the helping verb, will either be avoir or être. You conjugate the auxiliary verb in the present and you add the past participle to it, and then you're done. Almost all verbs conjugate with avoir, and those are the ones we're going to study in this chapter. In the next chapter, we'll learn about the handful of verbs that conjugate with être. And in this chapter, we're also going to learn how to form past participles. Now, pay really careful attention to the rules for forming the past indefinite, because they all apply later on down the road to creating a lot of other compound tenses. By changing the tense of the auxiliary verb, we're going to be able to create a whole set of other tenses. But otherwise, all the other rules are going to apply. Okay, let's do it.